Hey guys, it's Marshall Ting with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week, the week of May 8th through the 14th. So we had some pretty solid numbers go through the auction markets across the state of Kentucky this week. We're pretty much on par for what we have been. We sold 17,200 and some odd head of cattle go through the barns this past week, and that's pretty much on par. The good news is this feeder cattle market continues to climb and climbs solidly. They called your feeder steers this week. You're looking at steady to $3 higher. Feeder heifers $2 to $6 higher. So really good sign there on those heifer cattle. They're in strong demand and really bumping up. But let's talk about these grass cattle real fast. Your lightweight feeder cattle, everybody's still got green grass fever, and they're still trying to clean up those last bit of the loads to get everything ready for summertime, and I think that's really showing. So your full weight steer cattle this week, you're looking at $160 to $2. A lot of consistency around that $2 mark. Not too much over. I think they just topped out at $2.08, but you're seeing a whole lot in that $1.95 to $2 mark consistent. Now let's talk about your 5-weight steer cattle. 5-weight steer cattle are really in demand, especially if they've got any type of preconditioning to them. If they're 45 days plus wean, 2 rounds of vaccine, watch out. It's fixing to get wild. So as a whole, your 5-weight steer cattle, you're looking at $1.50 to $2. But like I said, on some of those really good preconditioned sets, they topped out at $217.50 on a 5-weight steer. You do the math. That's a pretty solid market. Now, as far as your 8-weight cattle are concerned and your loads, they're pretty consistent to what they have been the last week to 2 weeks. Not much change there. Still seeing the same trend of really high, right close to your CME feeder cattle index on the light 8s. Once you get to 850, they start to take a little bit of a drop and a consistent drop. But let's talk about these real fast. So your 8-weight steers, here's 66 head of these, all black steers, 809 pounds on the average at 155.10. Take them a little bit heavier, 61 head. These are all blacks as well, 820 pounds on the average at 154. So a little bit of a drop, but not much. Now, let's go up here in your heavier cattle and we'll see what we're talking about. Here's 63 head of these. These are blacks, just a light sprinkling of Charolais cross in them, but primarily blacks. 851 pounds on the average at 148.25. And then just to give you comparison on what it looks like once you drop back to those 9 weights, here's 64 head of black 9-weight steers. They weigh 906 on the average at 144.75. So like I said, if they're right there on the light end of the 8 weights, you're going to see that $1.55. Once you get past 850, 851 actually, you're going to see a 5 to 7 cent drop on those cattle coming back. Now, let's talk about your CME feeder cattle index for the week. CME feeder cattle index is just about as steady as it was last week. Not too much fluctuation at all. 60 cents as a whole slide for the week, but let's talk about that real fast. So, Monday the 9th, your CME feeder cattle index was 156.33. Tuesday the 10th, you dropped just a little bit, 156.24. Wednesday the 11th, 156.61. By the time we get to Thursday the 12th, you're looking at 156.36. And then by the time we closed out the week on Friday, you're at 156 flat. So like I said, very consistent on that this week. A 60 cent difference across the week, and that's about it. But if you have any questions on this, or if you're interested in a livestock risk protection policy, which will be a pretty good idea right now, especially since you're looking at, in some instances, $1,000 to $1,100 and change on some of these lightweight cattle coming in, it'd be a really good idea to lock them in. You know, you just kind of see some volatility on the board this week, especially on your heavier cattle in your back months. So kind of keep an eye on that. And if you're interested in an LRP policy, a livestock risk protection policy, feel free to reach out to us. Superior Ag Insurance. Call Ian Thomas at 859-613-2453 or call Damon Reed at 200-9188 or check us out on the web, www.superioragins.com. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Look forward to talking to you soon.